Good morning, guys. Another day, another trade. Looks like we've got some 10 a.m. I don't know. It's Wednesday. 8:15 news. 10 a.m. news. Well, now we had 2 trending days in the past 2 days. Can that continue? I don't know. 3 trending days in a row. If we're working based off the 80-20 rule, then the heck. Before we begin this trading session, we have to step back to our checklist real quick. Here's our checklist. Screen record live session. I believe we're live. Trading prep 15-minute price action. This is what I see right now. Yesterday I made the mistake of marking this high, this low, this high, this low, and that was mean reverting. But we did have that breakout. But really the breakout happened over here. So 6 hours. We don't want to go too far back. This is the levels I would mark. Have that breakout already happening from looks like what news is, but then we have this level here that it's holding. So I just want to keep an eye off of that. We're gonna mark our liquidity levels. Liquidity level right here as well. So you can just take that off. Liquidity level right here. Next liquidity level right here. Do we have one at higher prices? This is all-time highs, right? So I don't think we'll have another liquidity level above. Maybe nothing I can see so far. So we'll just keep that down here. 15-minute chart. Let me look at some order flows. This isn't really too important right now. Got bullish order flows. We got divergence in price. Or we have harmony down here. Kind of positive, kind of negative. We'll see what happens there. Trading prep is pretty good. This is where we promise ourselves. I promise to follow my system rules. So my exact system rules are: I look at price action on the 15-minute chart, see if there's harmony or divergence in the order flows and the volume, and see if price action is confirming that we're in a trend. And then we go to the 1-minute chart, and if we are trending long or short, then we take a trade in that position. That's it. Follow my risk management rules. My risk management rules are 5-point stop loss, 1 contract on ES in either direction. That's it. And I don't take no more than 2 trades. I don't really want to take more than 2 trades. So today, 2 trades maximum. I only got 2 shots in the clip, so I'm gonna be very wary. And 5 points. If we go 5 points in our direction, move stop loss to break even, because we just had 2 trending days. I'm pretty wary, like I'm pretty cautious about if it's going to be another trending day or not, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to follow my system just because I have these feelings. Made that clear, and then I will journal the day in Notion once the day is done. Also, we have a special little morning quote of the day that my girlfriend got for me for Christmas, so let's read it. Laughter is the best medicine, but if you are laughing without any reason, you may need medication. Quite interesting, quite interesting. I mean, we had that breakout at 8 a.m. I know you mad, cause let's make a new log for the day. Yes. What should we call this day, this title for my trading journal? Let's do systems over feelings today. That's the title of the day. January 7th. Alright. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty skeptical about today, I can't lie. So oops, what's going on here? You guys still see this? Okay. Very low volume. There's no big money in the markets yet, so see how that plays out. If anything, we want to take shorts today, or a breakout into more higher highs. Yeah. I don't know what today's looking like, man. I guess we just pretty much just chill. There's nothing really to do right now, so I'm going to watch something that would be Good morning, starshine. Welcome to the real world. Whoa.
Jim. All right. Trade of the day. So we've got the early part of a reversal going on here. We've had a nice uptrend from the yearly open up to December's high, and so far rejecting off it, which also was hitting the 2025 open. So we hit last year's open and into that imbalance of the yearly wick, and so far reversing from that, which also on the lower time frames mentioned yesterday about 93 to 95. So anything in that 93 to 95k area as being the consolidation, in whichever way it breaks, looking at that as being the next directional trigger. So that's broken to the downside, and from when we crossed over 93, we started to move up before we lost it and moved down. You can see that volume distribution. Price sold off, came back after New York session yesterday, pumped up into a retest of the point of control, retest the value area low, selling off again. So from that zoomed out perspective, if we're going to make our way back towards those lows, then I expect this to be a consolidation. Either we try and go lower, come back up, clean up some of those levels and then go down. Possibly it's just going to roll over from here like the chart had shown from yesterday. That would be probably follow through today in New York session or possibly tomorrow. But from a trade perspective, I'll be watching this now as a swing that we have from Tuesday's session high to low, and looking at price trading through there, coming back towards today's open and 93k itself. So I'll be looking for some signs of price coming back up to retest for a short, whether it's from here or later on. And the simple play really would be shorting above 93, initial stop at the highs, target at the yearly open, and then refining that if and when we get confirmation. So I'd like to see price fall lower, rally up into it, and roll over like that would be the path I'd expect to see. If it's going to consolidate for higher, it would be closes through last year's open, closes through 94, could set this up into being just a nice base build for higher. And we have some build up of positioning here. You can see on the lower time frames got some build up of OI as price has been consolidating throughout this 91 to 93, 91.5 to 93.5 from yesterday's dump into retest. So short side I'll be looking at not from here, but from a retest higher. Using from yesterday as base build higher, and the simple some signs of price coming back up to retest for a short, whether it's from here or later on. And the simple play really would be shorting above 93, initial stop at the highs, target at the yearly open, and then refining that if and when we get confirmation. So I'd like to see price fall lower, rally up into it, and roll over like that would be the path I'd expect to see. If it's going to consolidate for higher, it would be closes through last year's open, closes through 90 I'd expect it. So initial stop at the highs, target at the yearly open, and then refining that if and when we get confirmation. So I'd like to see price fall lower, rally up into it, and roll over like that would be the path I'd expect to see. If it's going to consolidate for higher, it would be closes through last year's open, closes through 94, could set this up into being just a nice base build for higher. And we have some build up of positioning here. You can see on the lower time frames got some build up of OI as price has been consolidating throughout this 91 to 93, 91.5 to 93.5 from yesterday's dump into retest. So short side I'll be looking at not from here, but from a retest higher. There's a gap, flat high off today's open as well, so no fixed level for this. I want to see price at minimum get above this level, and that's where I start to look. So don't have an order set to short this because we still have a lot of potential for volatility here. It's come back into an area of prior support from the weekend. It's held it, could go all the way up, take the highs, roll over, and offer a better entry there. So no order set, but looking to see price come up and reject off some retest levels before triggering a trade, either from the mid of this, so getting to 93 and running into resistance, or if it can reach the highs, failing a break of the highs and coming back inside, will be the two short side trades I'll be looking at for BTC. That's pretty much all I'm looking for today. And if it goes lower and there's an opportunity for that continuation move, if we go to break 90 down towards the early open, there'll be a potential scalp trade there as well. But for now, just waiting. So no order actually set. It'll be based on price action if and when we get above 93 again. Or, in a perfect world, we get all the way to the highs, squeeze all that out, and then start to roll over. That's it. GM.
There's no by becoming rich. Take all your money, buy Bitcoin.
If you just take it from the open, you test one side, you test another, and then the market comes and settles into an area where you see the first proper directional move happen later on. I think we could see some of that. It's that whipsaw type of action. Or even just back to the open for an early fake out. But at this point, I really don't think it's going higher unless it spends maybe a couple of weeks building in this area, this upper area, but same as it has done. Breakout, not coming. If it's going to, you're going to have to see price reverse the entire thing, which it very well may do. We've had flat high off the open, just dumping straight off the daily open this morning. From there, straight down. After that early year push ran out of steam, very common we see these go into reversion. You've seen it. I'm showing you most months. That at the beginning of most months you see a directional move in one way. But I think this extends beyond just crypto. The S&P made new highs, so I'll be watching for that. See as it stick or get sold into. Pre-market it's a little lower. You can see on ES here that overnight we've just been drifting back ever so slightly on the futures after reaching back up to the highs of Boxing Day. Didn't actually make a new high on that. Made a double top on the futures side of things. Nasdaq obviously still slower and lagging and hasn't reached up into that 630 area yet. So for equities, nothing bad, just I think building their way through still. But also you can see silver. Nice move yesterday by silver, closing inside of the inefficiency of the 80 to 82 level is good, but rejecting now off of prior highs. So again, looks like you're going to see some of these pullbacks, and if they pull back into consolidations for higher, that's one setup. But yeah, I think the early year rallies are going to revert at this point, and people are probably a little bit overexposed, at least potentially overexposed to these short-term first move of the year rallies. So that's what I'm going to be watching for here. Take everything here and just look at them all as yes as well. So these first moves of the year, up from the lows on silver, that's now ran out of momentum. So this trend, if you just take the start of the year as a trend by itself, it's higher highs and higher lows all the way for silver, and that's broken now. For Bitcoin, off the yearly open, it's higher highs and higher lows, and that's broken. at multiple points over here. For stocks, higher highs all the way, no breaks yet. So that's the one I'll be watching most closely. And obviously same for NASDAQ, it's just been going higher and setting new highs, but not as strong as the S&P. So if we start to see a little more weakness in that, then I think we revert back to the yearly lows on everything, and or at least back towards that, because these are not continuation setups at the moment. For silver, you had blow off top, you had consolidation, and then this is a reversion to the highs. Because that structure is broken, it's higher probability we see this come back to the lows and form more of a consolidation into some kind of a compression range, unless we break down, or of course reclaim. But at this point, same as Bitcoin, reclaiming structure from here means you really just need to get above the highs and hold. Otherwise, it's broken, it's uptrend, and we're into a downtrend. It's all lower time frame stuff, but we're at the start of the year. It's only the 7th. And I think that's what I'll be looking at moving forward here. So Bitcoin has that early indicator of it. Stocks still, certainly for ES, still stronger. But lower time frame, I think reversion is likely here on silver, back to mid-70s. Gold, same again. Gold's move off the early open was very weak relative to silver. Gold rallied up on the Friday and came all the way back. So it wasn't even a higher low. Like silver made a higher low. Gold reverted the whole thing, but it still went higher and higher and higher, and now it's breaking as well, up into resistance. So I think we're going to see non-trending conditions on the low time frame now, which will either be, we could see downtrending conditions on the 1 hour, but really just the opposite of what we'd seen from the start of the year. Start of year rally, first few days, some nice low time frame longs to be had across certainly Bitcoin and silver, some stocks, gold not so much. And I think now we're heading back towards testing supports. So that's really just what I'll be watching across all of these. I'll just be wiping all these off and saying that if they don't make new highs for NQ, that's 25.8 level has been a big level for a long time. For gold, it's all 4,400 in between, but I would really just be watching the beginning of the year and the lows of the year. So our exact low of the year on gold is there. In fact, I should mark these off. Current yearly lows. There you go. Those would be the levels I'm watching for. And for Bitcoin, it was there on the 1st. Silver futures came off right off the open. And for NQ, it's down at those lows. So I'm watching that. We're into uptrends have broken, not quite broken yet on NQ or ES. Those would be two that may follow. But yeah, I think this is going lower. Nothing major. Question just would be, if that does happen, which it may not, but we are, for Bitcoin, for example, we're at resistance, putting in a very similar type of structure of resistance that it has done the last 3 times. And each of those times it reverted back to balance. So I don't see any reason why this wouldn't just revert back to balance. Question would be, is it going to come to the yearly open and hold from there, and it's just a early rally, gets trapped some longs, we come back, clean it up, and away it goes? Or does that become some kind of a midpoint instead of a support or resistance, like you so often see with monthly opens, weekly opens even. When price reverts back to it, it's not actually a support or resistance, because you send a wick, you end up putting in a wick either side of it. But regardless, I think that's part of what we've seen here. So no shorts yet. I'll look at trade of the day for Bitcoin. It's setting up, like I mentioned yesterday, for potential short as we go from this level down through to about 90. And outside of that, higher time frame, still looking through plenty of really nice stock charts and consolidations building. I'll share a bunch of those setups in trading analysis later on when I'm going through them, but it's time of patience. These are building multi-week consolidations, and you've got some things breaking out recently, like SanDisk. That's now the new narrative, which is sort of the old narrative, is about storage. It's like the next iteration of the AI wave, and I see now on Twitter everyone's like, everyone's looking in the wrong place. So this is the funny kind of shit you see. So we did SanDisk a few weeks ago on Alt Edge. You can find that. It's probably 2 weeks ago. I would have worked that weekly imbalance, yeah. Say there, we would have done it probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. As soon as you got that close inside the prior weekly imbalance, big sign of strength before the breakout. Good one to look for anything you're looking at in the future. And the Twitter slop posts are always funny, because now it's like, nobody's looking at this. Everyone's sleeping on. I saw this, like, everyone's sleeping on storage, like memory, SanDisk, right? You probably know SanDisk if you're a boomer, for like those old 32 megabyte, what is it, like 512 megabyte SD cards that you put into like a camera or a fucking thing. But obviously, that's not the reason why it's pumping at all-time highs. It's because all the memory requirements for AI, the storage space required for all this data. And so whenever a chart looks like this, it's not fucking early. I'm far from being bearish. This is a fantastic setup, fantastic breakout. But there's typical retard shit on Twitter. It's like everybody's sleeping on the next wave. Like last year it was about Nvidia. So this is the thing, is I was like, last year it was about Nvidia because it's all about who has the most H100s, who has the most chips. You know, it's all about the chips. This year it's all about the memory. SanDisk outperformed Nvidia last year. So that's fucking nonsense. It's total fucking nonsense. So it's not like it's crept up on anyone, I guess would be the correct way of saying it. Just since the breakout from September, it was already up 5x. So no, it's not. You know, anyway. Slop, social media shit. Well, nice chart. As for the Bitcoin, I think, yeah, I'm going to stick with this 2026 lows as a place to watch for all of these if they don't make new highs and hold. So again, this is a 1 hour chart. These are lower time frame charts. It's not. And I wouldn't be shorting into this yet. I would short Bitcoin and will hopefully short it if there's a setup. But I'd be more so just looking at price getting towards those levels. Silver's especially, like, I think silver's just going to speed run to there, because despite having a nice move up, it's double topped. And you've put in this really, the sell-off of silver from the open has been just relentless. It's just been not like heavy, high volume selling, but just as soon as it hit prior highs, there's just been nothing. So it seems to me like it's just going to easily drift its way back down. Now, it'll get into the 70s and probably chop for a bit, but I'd be watching the yearly lows on all of these. Certainly any of them that are now into lower time frame uptrends broken, and into more of a mean reverting state. And the invalidation of all of that would be make and break and hold at new highs. So for silver, it's to make and break new highs here, or to hold around the midpoint of their moves. So either consolidate, get back above the highs and consolidate, or hold around the midpoint of the moves up. Around or above. Right, so if it can stay in the upper end, that's fine. And same goes for BTC as well. From its swing from the lows. I should have drawn wrong. That's what I'll be watching for there as well. If it can stay up in the high 90, above 90, sorry, and it's not able to break lower and it holds up and builds, that's also fine for a move higher, but the momentum of the earlier move has gone. So it's a question of, does this first leg up get bought as a dip, or do we see it lose that and revert? And given the higher time frame of where we're at, reaching that resistance, I wouldn't be mega bearish, but I certainly wouldn't be bullish here, as it has clearly failed to break out, and you know, you're supposed to wait for breakouts. That was what this chart's all about. The main view is what? Waiting for range extremes. So we got to the range extreme and we've seen rejection. We haven't seen serious follow through to the bear side yet, but we also have not seen it on with bullish confirmation. There we go. What about the ETFs? Flows, probably still more in outflows. Interesting. Only got 2 days inflows before some outflows again. See how that goes. There you go. GM.
Jim. Today's lesson.
A lot of weak volume.
Are you living 1/12 of your life? It's January. I'm gonna fucking bombard you with rants this month about not giving up on yourself. So, loads of people are back, committed, getting back on the horse. Maybe you slacked off last year. Maybe you eased off into year end. Maybe you skipped a bunch of months. And you decided January is the time to get back on it. All right, better than nothing. You do know, though, about the January effect and how most people set New Year's resolutions and don't keep them. Get motivated in January, start strong, gone by February. Gym stops. The goal no longer motivates you. You don't feel that burst of inspiration anymore. The discipline, there never was any, because you were just motivated, not disciplined. And then you spend the next 11 months not tracking things, right? The goals you set. By the time you get to February, that nice big long list, I'm sure it's there in front of you. It's probably on your phone right now. It's probably on your laptop. You've maybe got it written out beside you. A big list of dreams and goals you want to achieve this year. By February, you won't even be looking at it. By March, you wouldn't even be able to recall a quarter of what's on it. And people who do this, they are living 1/12 of their life. They recommit every January, and then the rest of the year just gets lost. By the time you're in your 30s, you'd have effectively lived 3 years. If you take this mindset, if you take this approach. And the rest is just promises that you made and you didn't keep to yourself. Nothing changes in January unless you do. You have to internalize this. You've made the first
Keep
step.
yawning, bro.
And I don't care why. I don't care if it was a spur of the moment. I don't care if it was motivation. I don't care if it was literally New Year's resolution. At least you've done it. At least you've done it. January motivation is like free dopamine. Right? Get excited, hyped up, put 2025 behind me. Let's go 2026. Good. All right, fine. But the calendar is not going to carry you through. You need that discipline to push past it. You need to have some kind of repetition. So daily checklists, weekly goal crushers, those type of things are crucial. And you need to force yourself to get to the middle of February. You cannot let January be a one and done. Not again. If it's happened to you before, which it has for pretty much everyone at some point, think back on those times. Feel that fucking pain. Feel that pain. And understand that when you look back at the end of your life, if you're lucky enough to, well, unlucky enough really, because you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like more than 90% of your life was wasted. That's what's waiting on the other side. If you make New Year's resolutions and you don't commit to them, if you're the typical start January, gone by February, if you're excited and hyped and back on the horse now and I don't see you in February, over 90% of your life is going to be wasted. There's never going to be another time like today. You're not going to get another chance. Next January is not guaranteed to you. Next week's not guaranteed to you. Tomorrow's not guaranteed to you. Start living life like that. So it's good that you've started in January. It's better than not starting. But start living your life day by day. So that if you do fuck things up, you catch it on that day. You don't let one bad day bleed into 2 and 3 and 4 and spiral. You certainly don't let weeks slip past you. Because you only get 52 of those a year. And it sounds like a lot. Like, wow, 52 weeks compounded correctly. I mean, that's massive. There's loads you can do, sure. But 1/3 of that sleep, gone. Necessary, but gone. Right? What are you doing with the 16 hours in your week? Don't fill it with busy work. That's another big reason why people fail. You go from doing nothing. Let's say you slacked off October, November, December, whatever. You didn't finish the year strong. You gave up on your goals. You didn't have goals. You lost sight of them. You forgot them. You lost track. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. What you also tend to do then in January is you overload yourself. You go from nothing to fucking everything to way too much. Going one extreme to the other. Too much volatility. You need to smooth that curve out. So, how productive can you be today, tomorrow, the next day? How productive can you be? What can you actually get done? Because January is a starting point, but you're not going to achieve anything in January that's going to change your life forever. That's why people quit. They promise themselves that this is their year, but really, by the time that motivation fades, it's January, and even if you've made progress, you might have lost a few pounds in the gym or got a bit stronger, made a bit of money, or been a bit consistent in boot camp, whatever, but you've not revolutionized your life. So it's easy to just go back into those old habits. Because if you do 11 months of bad habits and 1 month of good habits, it's easier to fall back into the bad habits. You have just far more experience of doing the wrong things than the right things. You know this. You have to do it. I can't do it. I can scream at you all through January, and I fucking will. But you have to internalize it. It's a character change. You're changing yourself as a person, which doesn't happen overnight. The decision does, but it's built day by day, week by week, and month by month. So just promise yourself you're going to get to the middle of February. That immediately means you beat all the January warriors who quit. Most people quit in the first 2 weeks of January. Get to the middle of February. Stop thinking about too far ahead, and don't make promises to your future self that you can't keep. If you want to get something done, like the lesson I did before about social media, instead of thinking about quitting social media forever, say, just delete it for a month, see how you feel. Keep making those promises to yourself. If you need to subconsciously program yourself that way, do it. It can work. Meaning, I'm just going to get to February, mid-February, then I can quit. Keep telling yourself you can quit. Keep telling yourself, I can quit next week. I can quit next month. But not today. You don't have to think about, oh, I'm never, ever, ever, always going to be perfect. No. If you give max effort until the 14th of February, middle of February, you do everything each day, and you do your weekly goal crushers, and you crush your goals inside the market, inside the campus, and outside the campus. If you just do that, you show up every day, you do your workout every day. If you just do all that till the middle of February, that's nothing. It's like 5 weeks from now. You can do fucking 5 weeks, right? And then you can quit. You've got my permission to quit on the 15th of February. You can quit if you want. If you actually work from now till the 15th of February on the goals you said you're going to do with your New Year's resolution, if you actually do that till the 15th of February and you don't like where you are, then quit. Just make that promise to yourself.
There probably won't be anything till 10 a.m. Might take some lungs. doesn't look like anything, bro. Probably gotta wait till 10 a.m. See, even if you guys look at the chart on the right, it doesn't know if it wants to be. It doesn't know if the buyers want to come in the market, the sellers want to be in the market. Like, there's no harmony. It's divergence right now. So I'm gonna mark this out as. Okay, it's bullish, volume and order flows. Do we make that 10 a.m. push higher? It's kind of looking like it. Very skeptical though. I'm very skeptical. We got harmony in bullish movement though. I will say that. System is nil. It's looking pretty bullish right now. Into 10 a.m. Is it going to be bullish? Trending. Need that 1 minute period. Then we can take some longs here. It's like buyers are taking over. A lot of buying into news. Thinking about taking a long here. Just the one indicator isn't really popping off though. It's still bearish on the 1 minute. 15 minute is bullish. The 1 minute indicator is not there. I promise to follow my system, so it's not there, then it's just not there. $15-minute price action is confirmed. 1 minute system is slightly confirmed. It's not fully there yet though. It's looking like it is gonna be. Thinking about the market buy. I'm gonna go for the market buy. We're in for longs. But that's the trade we're in right now. If we move 5 points up, I want to move that to break even. It's like around 7,000. We're gonna move to break even. We have harmony and price on a 15-minute chart, making very short pullbacks up into 10 a.m. news. 1 minute system is there. However, I'm pretty skeptical. Buyers are in control. So let's see what happens here. I followed my system completely. Now we just let the market do its thing. If the market wants to do its thing, perfect. If it wants to fuck around, that's fine too. Followed my system, I did what I can do. So all I can do is run my system to the best of my abilities. Be very selective with my trades. I have news at 10 a.m. so what will price do? Have more harmony. This is looking like a good trade. I can't lie. The news could be super bullish. It's looking like a good trade. Just gotta wait and be patient. Not let our emotions come into play. The system is good. 5 points up would break even, stress free. 5 points down, stopped out, journal. It's fine. Whichever happens is okay. It looks like we're just gonna wait for that 10 a.m. 10 a.m. news. Looks like we're having like 15-minute divergence a bit. 15-minute price action is still pretty bullish though. Looks like we're gonna get stopped out here. We got stopped out.
Order filled.
So get one more shot, guys. Just quickly add this in the journal. Price action was there. Everything was there. That one just didn't work out. Looks like a reversal might happen here. Ten AM news is looking kind of bearish, I can't lie. Minute price action is still bullish though. So just gonna follow our system, see what happens. It's too early to tell what will happen here. It's looking bearish though. We're having a divergence in volume. I really do want to short this. Am I confident in this short here? Yes, I am.
Order filled.
I am confident in this short here. But wait, am I following my system? I placed a trade. Should probably leave it on. The long didn't work. Or failing to break. This is definitely a good short. This is a good short, boys. Trust in the process. Trust in the process, bro. This is a good short. So we kind of are shorting news right now. The 1 minute system isn't even there. So right now it's kind of being total intuition. And that's low-key kind of faulty. But we have divergence in volume. This is typically when reversals happen. So I'm betting on a reversal to happen right now. Looks like that's happening. Move stop to break even. Yeah, we're having a strong reversal. So we're in. Stop is at break even. Stop is at break even, so we're risk free, which is pretty great, honestly. I'll take a risk free trade. I'll let you guys watch this for me. What the heck? I'll let you guys watch that. See how that plays out. We can target these lows. 29.62. Where is that? Where is that over here? Yeah, a lot of selling volume. The lows, the liquidity, next level is 69.45. 69.45. So I think we're going for around like roughly 30 points is so yeah, we could easily hit these lows. Just gotta let the trade run. Remove stop to break even. So it's a risk-free trade. We're in. This one was trend following. This next trade is a short. I want this full picture actually. what's meant for me will come. If it isn't, then so be it, bruh. So be it. We're back in that range though. So let's see where we are looking at here. It's looking pretty healthy, risk free. We're gonna come back, get stopped out, whatever, or we continue. It's no deep pullback already. So we should be fine here. Like, we are chilling, there's no need to stress. We're in a risk-free trade. And we love risk-free trades because you can't lose anything. So you can't lose anything. You have nothing to lose and lots to gain. So risk-free trades are absolutely beautiful. Let's see, was price action there? Price action was there. The system is now there. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and we followed risk. Trade screenshot. Just before 10 a.m. news, 9:59 a.m. I saw divergence in order flows, a lot of seller volume just before 10 a.m. red flag news. Entered in a short for heavy signs of reversals. However, 1 minute system wasn't there until after the news hit. I moved, stopped the divergence. Order flows was correct. The 10 a.m. news went to the sellers. Moved, stop loss to break even 5 points in short. Risk-free trade. So far, 1 loss, and now in a risk-free trade. We'll just wait. Risk-free trade. I'll take a picture of this here as well. It's some pretty good journaling, but this is gonna be my last trade. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, fuck it. But I do just want to pay attention to see if there's any signs to exit, because if we begin mean reverting, or even around 12 p.m., 11 a.m., I want to know if we gotta start thinking about exiting this trade. All right. Sellers are still in control. Mean reverting on the 1 minute chart. So if we just stay at like this 6 to 7 K range, might just mean revert, it might just get stopped out, or it will break this 15-minute low and these lows that we're at. If it breaks here, then It's probably a strong indication we'll reach lower levels. The next level is like right under it. So like the next support level is right under it. So if we break these, I'll show you guys on the 1 minute chart here. We're just focusing over here. If we break this level, that's strong continuation. But then we have support like right here. So we have a lot of levels to break through. We got to break through these two levels, and then we have again this here. But it does look like there's an imbalance in price. If I take out this right here, mark out this consolidation period, so we can reach these levels down here. And if we break out here, this consolidation period, right? So it's looking pretty healthy. It's looking for healthy shorts, I won't lie. So we can touch this area here. The next liquidity level is down here. We also do have this imbalance here. I don't think that's really fair. Small imbalance like right here, but the market needs to just naturally balance itself out. So this is healthy shorts. Yeah, that's everything I'm seeing. I'm gonna journal that too. I want to take a picture of this here. The third image shows an anchored VWAP tool. This shows a clear imbalance in price action. The markets will always naturally balance itself out. So we are targeting lower prices. We are targeting lower prices. Will always naturally balance itself out, so we are targeting lower prices. Big money needs to grab that liquidity. Direction is down, path is unknown. Might take 30 minutes to get there, might take the full day. We'll wait and see. So yeah, we already reached that imbalance. the next imbalance would be right here, and it's never been reached. It hasn't even been like touched yet. So but if we do this whole thing, the imbalance is at the top. So So yeah, we're not smooth sailing yet. We still have these lows to break. Still have to break this area, and once we get to this area, that's our take profit anyways. But we still have a lot of support that we need to break to get to our take profit. So yeah. So I don't know how long this trade is gonna take. It might take like the rest of the entire day to just slowly move down. I don't think it's gonna get there quickly. Looks like we have a divergence in price. I want to see more bearish volume. Seeing buyer volume is not good. And it's not bad. It doesn't matter. But to get that like stronger conviction, and for the price to actually move down, price can only stop and go from supply and demand. So we want the sellers to overtake the buyers. We don't want the buyers and sellers to be, sometimes buyers are consuming the sellers and then sellers are consuming the buyers. We don't want that to keep flipping. We want it to just be mainly sellers are in the market and taking the buyers, and there's just no strength for buyers. So I don't want to see any strength for buyers and longs at all. It's pretty much it. Basic supply and demand principles. I want to see sellers continue to consume buyers' positions. Below average buyer volume, a lot of seller volume, this is a good position to be in. I cannot lie. But we still need the sellers to keep entering. But the buyers are trying, but it's below average volume. The buyers ain't really doing too much. There's still more sellers than there are buyers. So on the right of the screen, it's basic order flow, supply and demand. Basic supply and demand. And on the left screen is the system that we've built to follow. So we'll see what happens. If price can drop 30 points, I'm in risk free, I would be happy with that. Looks like buyers are entering the market though. So there's really, I'm just gonna take like a little study break because there's nothing for me to really focus on right here. You guys can just watch the trade for me, and I'm just gonna complete my little study. I'm still watching the trade as well, but I'm just gonna do my little studying, and we'll get through that. And then around 11 or 12, we'll go to eat breakfast, pre-workout, get ready for the gym, go to the gym, And today we should be hitting chest. So that'll be fun because yesterday we hit legs. Finally, we have harmony.
There's something by becoming rich. Take all your money, buy Bitcoin.
You can wake up every morning and say GM.
We're on day 18 of being consistent, bruh. Leveling up. Systems overview.
And welcome to day 18 of boot camp. Congratulations, you passed the first test. Now, the work really begins. What we're going to do is introduce systems at this point, and for the next couple of days, talk about how to build them. But after that, I'm going to show you exactly which system to build. All right, because I know and I can see some people are already going to be wondering and worrying about building a system. And of course, this is not the purpose of White Belt. The purpose of White Belt is not to have a profitable system. It's not to make money in the markets. It's to build the habits and the traits of a consistent person who becomes a consistent trader. However, the lessons as you are going through them are done in the perfect order to learn. So everything you've learned to this point is your fundamental grounding of how every market on the planet moves. And right towards the end, I introduced an extremely powerful concept, the concept of harmony and divergence. Bootcamp students are going to be the first to know about my personal belief of what is the strongest system you can build. It's not one specific system. There is no one hack for the markets. You are still going to have to do some work here. However, I firmly believe that if any trader is able to understand harmony and divergence, they can make a profitable career in whichever style of trading they choose. When you really boil it down, if you understand supply and demand as a base level, you understand cause and effect. The market cannot move for no reason. There must be a cause that creates the effect of the movement. So you understand those from a conceptual level. And then you apply it through the law number 3, effort versus result, which is expressed through harmony and divergence. You can and will become a profitable trader. It's really that simple. Now, EMA bands, VWAP, RSI, Ichimoku clouds, Fibonacci fans, Gann fans, fucking rainbows, spirals, dinosaurs drawn on a chart. All that shit means nothing, okay? To create a profitable system, I know, because I've done many of them, every single student here needs only 2 things. 1, price. 2, volume. And you can do it. Now, in future, you can boost those systems with all the things I mentioned. Nothing wrong with adding EMA bands or VWAP as confluence if it improves your system. But to begin with, you must build a system. And what better way to build a system than a system that identifies harmony and divergence? So, let me dig into this a little bit further. You know from the lesson on harmony and divergence, on effort versus result, you know that the key is if the market is in harmony, it will continue in whatever direction it is moving. Yeah? So if it's trending up, and you see signs of harmony, you can assume it will continue to trend up. So, trend traders, if you want to be a trend follower, you use the principles of harmony. On the other hand, if the market is going to reverse, you want to use the principles of divergence. You want to see a trend up or down in progress, and you want to spot signs of divergence. You want to wait for a specific trigger, which you'll build in your system. Then you want to enter a trade in the opposite direction. That's it. That's all trading is, guys. You can really only trade in two directions. Yeah? You can either bet on the market continuing its movement, or you can bet on the market to reverse. This is true on all time frames. A trend on a daily chart will continue up until the point at which it stops going up. Now, smart traders here might know, you might know and say, but actually, trends don't go from bullish to bearish. They go from bullish to neutral to bearish. So it's not smart to say, once the uptrend begins, I should go short into a downtrend. That's true. However, what happens on a daily chart after the uptrend finishes? It goes into a range. But in that range, that will have, at first, a 4-hour or maybe a 1-hour downtrend. So your principles of harmony and divergence run true across all markets, all charts, all time frames, every single coin on the planet. They cannot escape these laws. Now, laws do not always work. Some would say laws are made to be broken. So, when you have a law, harmony and divergence, and you spot divergence, it doesn't mean that 100% of the time your asset is going to reverse and your trade is going to be profitable. But if you stick to those principles for long enough over time, you will have a positive expectancy on your system. So I'm setting the scene for you now. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about systems themselves. What a system is, break it down in very simple terms, and make it into a checklist for you that all you need to do when you get to the backtesting stage, which comes after, is you simply go onto your chart, load it up, go into replay mode, and you start clicking buttons and waiting until you see those rules being met, and then you take a trade. Your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit are all defined before you ever even open the chart. This is truly magical. For anyone who actually does this and internalizes it and gets it into their brain, they're going to realize, wow, trading is actually simple. Simple and easy are not the same thing. It's difficult because you have to manage emotions and all the other things that go along with it. But from a core fundamental perspective, trading is simple. You make rules, you sit around waiting patiently for those rules to hit, then you execute what the rules tell you, then you exit when the rules tell you. Yeah? That's it. That's all it is. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
I think we got stopped out for break even. That's okay. Perhaps another day. Yeah, we get stopped out at 92. So we'll probably get stopped out, which is fine. At 15 was the reversal. And then 30 was like the confirmation pretty much. Market's gonna do what it's gonna do. There's nothing I can do about it, bro. This is a deep pullback though. So this full leg is almost 75%. Which we're like right there at the 75%. What the fuck? Are you guys seeing this? What the fuck? Is there more news? Is there more news? I don't think so. What the fuck? Oh, do we like secure some more profits? What the fuck was that? Bitch, stop calling me, bro. What the heck was that, bro? Why did that? There's no news. Just sellers just took over the market. It's like crazy. I don't know if it's buyers or sellers that's gonna close this candle. That was pretty weird. It's a bunch of sellers and a bunch of buyers just popped in. This market is weird as fuck right now. What the heck was that, bro? I feel like we should try and just target the low of this range. Because I don't know if it's gonna hit like these levels down here. But like, what the heck? What's going on? Guess we'll just continue to hold. I mean, there's still risk free. Pretty simple. Market's weird as fuck. To be a breakout trader, like the market is mean reverting. So I don't know if we just want to take profits at the low. Right, if this closes bearish, then it's good. If this closes bullish, then we'll probably just exit the trade. Close bullish and open bearish. Thinking I want to exit this trade because like it's just not doing anything. Do we exit or hold? I'm thinking we exit. Yeah, we're gonna exit here.
Order filled.
We're out. So Yeah, market's just mean reverting. So close our trade. Take a picture of this here. Quickly journal this. So yeah, I'm pretty much done trading. Let's go to YouTube. So to finalize it, we are going to use ChatGPT to summarize everything we learned, put it in the description of the YouTube video, finish my schoolwork, and I'll go to the gym. That's it. So today was a net gain of $50, but yesterday we lost like $60, so we're pretty much break even. But for the week, we're positive. For the week, it is a positive gain. We're at like a $2 loss in the past 3 days. Man, the management of this was just really good. Honestly, super happy with how I've been managing the trades. Super happy with how I've been dealing with everything. Check on how my friends are doing. I already came into Wednesday being like skeptical, so I followed my system. I was just very skeptical about it, and I had every right to be. So I'm quite happy about that. Oh, I need to change my tire today too. Hello, ChatGPT. Gonna give me a response or what? ChatGPT is on some retard shit right now. Alright. So what happened for the first trade? Summarized of what happened. 9 to 9:30, you watch price, volume, and order flow. They were not aligned, no harmony. Based on that, you expected mean reversion, but remained skeptical. You followed your trading system faithfully, waiting for valid signals. A trade triggered, but you got stopped out before the 10 a.m. news. After the news, 15-minute price action turned bullish, and your 1-minute system gave. It's not true. No. It was before the news came out. I got stopped out, right? Yeah. Stupid ChatGPT. So, we watched 9 to 9:29 a.m. price action. Price, volume, and order flow were not aligned. You expected mean reversion, correct? You followed your system, no forcing entries, correct? A valid signal triggered, you entered but got stopped out before the bullish move began. Price then rallied up prior to the scheduled news, but you were already out. No. Price rallied up. I entered. Time did I enter at? At 9:46 a.m. Got stopped out 9:52 a.m. before 10 a.m. news. That's what happened. What actually happened? 9 to 9:29. Price, volume, order flow were in a line. Weak context. 9:46 a.m. Your system gave a long entry. You executed. 9:52 a.m. You were stopped out. After your stop, price rallied up even though the scheduled new. No, after your stop. No. Before I got stopped out, price rallied up even. Come on, ChatGPT, lock in. What the fuck? Lock in. What actually happened? Price was already rallying before your entry. But I need some water now, bro. Hold on, I'll be back. I need water.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach. Your call has been forwarded. Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person.
Why is my girl not answering the phone? Chloe, bruh, you gotta wake up. You gotta make some food. We gotta go to the gym in about an hour. So I'm trying to warn her. Tell her we're going in an hour.
Your call has been.
Anyways, summary of today, what happened? What actually happened? Price was already rallying before your entry. You entered into that rally expecting more upside. Price turned and hit your stop loss soon after, before the big move continued. No. So your stop didn't occur before the rally. It happened after your entry into the rally. Key lesson. There was no big move. There was no big move that continued. Wait, what time did I exit the trade? 10:47. No. 10:45. Cool. Come on, ChatGPT, bro. Lock in. I'm gonna have to switch these AI systems, bro. Yo, ChatGPT is literally on some retarded shit right now. Like, okay, ChatGPT has given me a summary of today and the lessons and everything that happened so far in today. The morning setup from 9 to 9:29 a.m. Price, volume, and order flow were not in alignment. Weak context. You expected mean reversion, but stayed disciplined and followed your system. You entered a long at 9:46 a.m. when your system triggered. Price reversed and hit your stop at 9:52 a.m. And there was no strong rally continuation before the 10 a.m. news. Before news, divergence and short setup. Just before 10 a.m., you observed divergence in order flow. That is true. Heavy seller volume and signs of a reversal. The 1 minute system signal wasn't present yet, but you acted on order flow divergence, anticipated a move. So this was trend following, breakout, reversal, and yeah, order flow divergence. Order flow divergence. Yeah, that was the system. You moved your stop to break even at 5+ points, creating a risk-free trade. You closed the short for a signal gain. Yeah, because price started mean reverting. Market context observations. The market before news lacked harmony, price, volume, and structure were disconnected. Classic mean reversion environment. Monday and Tuesday had trending upward moves. Wednesday showed imbalance and unfilled liquidity, suggesting price needs to balance and fill that order flow gap. Anchored VWAP and imbalance analysis indicated possible lower targets, as market naturally seeks balance and liquidity. You noted that weak buyer volume plus strong seller volume is required to push price down further. High level lesson. Discipline and risk management worked. You followed your trading rules, respected structure, and protected capital. Moving stop loss to break even on the short kept the trade risk-free. Signal versus structure. Your long entry came from a system signal, but without structure confirmation, so it was weak and got stopped. Your short entry came from order flow divergence and supply imbalance, then was confirmed by news. Market context matters more than news. Price didn't follow through before news, showing that scheduled catalysts don't always create immediate directional movement. Observing money flow and order imbalance gave you a better read than time on news. Also, what I want to point out is, so when we're in this trade, around 10:15 and 10:30 were good exit signals, because if we look at the order flow, 10:15 positive order flow, and we're in a short. 10:30 positive order flow, and we're in a short. So exit here, that was divergence. That was signaling a reversal, and we're in mean reverting. So yeah, that's just, it was pretty simple. Lack of harmony in price and volume indicates sideways mean reversion conditions, not trending. In this environment, trend trades are less reliable without strong confirmation. Liquidity and balance. Market seeks liquidity and balance zones. Imbalance signals potential moves, but timing is uncertain. Be patient. Even strong diversions take time to resolve. Well, nothing's happening. Takeaway summary. You traded logically and followed the risk rules. A weak long entry got stopped, which was the right outcome in a non-harmonic market. You then correctly identified selling pressure and imbalance before news, entered a short, managed risk well, and you closed with a gain. The session highlighted the importance of structure, order flow, volume alignment, especially in mean reversion markets. Okay, ChatGPT, you redeemed yourself, because that is pretty much what happened. Hey, where's my little emoji? I want that little emoji right there. So far, it's a 50% win rate, bro. It's honestly not too bad. Okay, guys, that's the end of the trading session. I do only like to trade from like 9 to 12, but nothing's happening. I just don't like the PM session. I don't really pay attention to, but maybe I could. I just don't want to be trading that much, right? I want to wake up, do my trade, make my little money in that time period, do my work, and go to the gym and just try and make as much money as I can for the rest of the day. So like do real actions in the physical world to make money. It's pretty much how it goes. So that's it, yo. Gonna end the stream. Good trading session today. We had good risk management. I felt like we read the markets pretty well today, and we're just gonna continue this into tomorrow, Thursday. Thursdays are often the worst days in my back-tested system. Often the worst days. So Wednesday I was skeptical. Thursday I'm gonna be on fucking like I'm gonna be on skeptical to the max. Like today I was like 80%. Tomorrow I'm gonna be like 200%. Who knows? You can get that trending day. You do get that odd trending day on Thursdays, but I'm gonna be very aware of it. And then Fridays are either hit or miss. Like Friday can be a good trending day, or it won't be. It's like 50-50. You just gotta read price action and get that edge. But Thursday, I recently said that I wouldn't trade Thursdays, so I'm gonna bring that mindset into Thursday and be super skeptical about trading Thursday, because there's just really no need for me to trade Thursdays. That's when most of the losses occur, and rarely any big days happen on Thursday. But it happens sometimes, but I'm just saying it's like the odd outlier. Like in terms of probabilities, Thursdays are usually losing days for trending traders. So at least for my system.